Welcome back. I have some wonderful guests. This is Darbe Nokes, the Credit Gal. You're on KHTS 1220, your hometown radio station. And I'm here with Mark Lecompte and Amir Mansour. And they are with Mini of Valencia. Did I say that right?
That's correct.
Okay, Mini of Valencia, because sometimes it's Valencia of Mini. You know, I think some car. No, that's wrong. Mini of Valencia. And 10 years with Autonation. I want to talk to you, Mark, first, if I can.
Sure,
and we
absolutely.
can talk about 10 plus years with Autonation. What does Autonation mean?
Well, Autonation is the largest automotive retailer across the country. They own over 200 stores, and I've had the pleasure of working with them for 10 years now, or almost 11.
Wow, 10 years. And I was reading about all of your experience. You know, you've been with Mini of Valencia since 2013.
It opened, July of last year.
July of last year. General manager, the fastest growing Mini of Valencia is the fastest growing Mini in California.
It was a brand new store, so.
Okay, it was growing fast then. Okay, it's growing fast. And then but you've really been around the car market for a while. I mean, it's his general manager of Mercedes-Benz in Oxnard.
That's correct. Yeah, I started in the car industry in '97, so it's been a while.
It's been a few years, huh?
Yep.
But a lot of different cars. I mean, I see Mercedes here and Ford and BMW and all of them. I'm a Ford girl personally, but my husband's British, and he drove a Mini, the English British
The English
Mini,
right?
The real Mini, he calls it. You know what I mean? The real Mini. But let's talk today because I want to hear from you, Mark and Amir, about Autonation Group and how that affects being a part of that. How can that affect financing a car? So who wants to start?
Well, Amir is my finance director for
Okay.
Mini of Valencia and Valencia BMW, so I'll let him talk on
No
that.
problem. So, good afternoon. Thanks for having us.
Absolutely.
Appreciate thanks KHTS AM 1220 and you for being us here today. With Autonation, we do have a special relationship with a lot of different finance companies that auto dealerships don't normally have. Being the nation's largest auto group, we do have access to some finance companies that have chosen to build what's called a preferred relationship with us. We can get people financed. We have that basically have been turned down at other places. A lot more often, they come in and saying, well, look, I've been shot down at 10 different other dealerships. I'm just here because I really like this car. Let's make this happen. Let's see if we can get it done. We run their credit and we can give them a way to go. In particular, they do have to have a job. Let's be honest. That's the way, we need to have some sort of steady source of income, but we can get people financed. Realistically, the terms are what the terms are, what the lenders set up. Banks do have setting up loans based on their interest rates, but they can get it done. And people,
Need a car.
And we find a way to get them into a car.
Now, sometimes, this has always been a question that's asked of me, being in the credit industry and people, when they get their credit score up, right? Sometimes they'll call me and they'll say, I renegotiated my credit card interest rates, and I renegotiated my home. They renegotiated things that were costing them a lot more money, having less than perfect credit. Are there finance companies or banks that will allow you to go back in and refinance?
It does happen. It really depends on their state of how much they still owe on their car.
Okay.
What usually ends up happening, and this is again across the board in the automotive industry, especially with us, we'll see somebody making payments for 9, 10, 12 months on their auto loan. If they've paid and the finance company can see that, we can actually either refinance their current auto loan, and we can do that, or we can also get them into another vehicle. Let's say they were with another finance company that gave them a higher than normal interest rate. We can actually get them into another car loan. Sometimes with little or no money down, sometimes we do require down. It really depends. But getting them into another car loan, and usually their new car payment would be lower and getting more cars. So they'll end up buying a lot more expensive car, and their payment will be lower than what they were paying because of how high the interest rate was on their current auto loan. So it really does end up working out perfectly for them. And rebuilding their credit is, again, what we tell people when they come into our dealership is an installment loan, and you being the credit gal.
Yeah.
An installment loan builds their credit, I could tell you right now, 10 times better than a regular credit card or a charge card or a secured credit card. An installment loan, like an automotive loan, definitely does build people's credit, and we noticed that firsthand.
I love that. And I love the ability to, like you said, be in a car. I'll give y'all an example. years ago. You know, I'm 50. I'm going to be 52 in December. I
Stop
can't believe
that.
it.
42.
Stop that.
Yeah, 42. That's right. The new 50 is the new. I mean, the 50 is the new 40. Anyway, I went in to buy a Ford 20 years ago. I'm not going to say where, but it was somewhere in Santa Monica, and basically that car dealer sold me a Ford with the highest interest rate you could ever achieve. So then when I wanted to get rid of that darn car, I had so many miles on it because I just drove everywhere. And it was so hard. It wasn't like I could get out of this car, get into a better car. That wasn't happening back then. But knowing that I have the ability to come into your dealership, you know, and talk to you about, you know, I have been paying my car payment for 9 months, 10 months, a year on this car, but I really want to upgrade my car, and that they can sit down with you, Amir, and talk about doing that. And they could even come out, and if they had a great credit score then, you know, if their credit score is really high, they might not pay any money down and a very low interest rate. I mean,
Absolutely,
that could be a
absolutely.
possibility.
No, that we see that on a daily basis. People come in, hey, I bought a car from you guys when you guys opened up. I've taken care of the car. I've made sure my payments were on time. I was on automatic. These finance companies are putting these people on automatic payment systems now. So their payments are getting paid. When we run their credit 12 months in, they've got 12 current paid on an installment loan, and we are getting them
And it
into different
affects
cars.
it. Yeah, I've seen it go up 100 points with that. Well, Mark, we're about to go to break, and we're gonna come back and talk about this after the break. But I just kind of want to introduce it. We're going to talk about your new pilot program and business model today, and that you jointly conceived about. I guess it was 6 years ago that you've, gathered this information. A few years back, yeah. And basically that has led you to the success that y'all are having, and it's really interesting. And I've read this, and I can't wait to talk to y'all about that. So we are going for break. You are listening to KHTS, if I could speak today, 1220 a.m., your hometown radio station.